Hi everyone and welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. All over, we have Diwali deals, discounts and schemes splashing our social media handles, newspapers, televisions and so on. And if you are one who's not seen much income disruption, the fortunate lot during this pandemic, it could be very tempting really, to indulge in some goodies, in shopping, in buying the latest gadgets, going for those no-cost EMI schemes, swiping your credit card and what have you. But, do remember that we are still in an economic crisis. Yes, there is news of a vaccine, but there's nothing written on pen and paper yet. So until then, perhaps it would be better if you sort of control on the temptation to really splurge, and of course to ensure that you don't get caught in this debt trap during Diwali. So how can you do that? How should you sort of read through the fine print of all these discounts and deals? I have with me Adhil Shetty, the co-founder of bankbazaar.com. He's also the CEO of bankbazaar.com. Adhil, it's always a pleasure having you with us on The Money Show. So I'm sure you as well have seen, your news feeds, social media feeds, and wherever you look, basically splashed with Diwali discounts and deals. But how do you reckon individuals should go about managing their spends or setting a fixed budget for themselves? Because sometimes the question also is that, okay, how much can I actually spend this year? Yes, my income so far has not been disrupted, but unfortunately, because of the economic crisis, we are still under threat. That looming threat is there of our incomes being disrupted.
Yeah, great question, Mubina. I think this year is different from all years past. Because of two reasons. So one is, like you said, there's a pandemic ongoing, and everyone realizes that the easiest way to balance your budget is by cutting your expenses. It's completely in your control. However, during Diwali, you do see a lot of these deals going around. Personally, right, I'm thinking about buying a music system. And what's really attractive for me right now is that there are two kinds of deals, right? So one is there's a deal wherein the maker of the music system is offering a discount, saying if you buy during this month, the product will be priced lower than before. And then there is a financial discount if I pay using a particular bank's credit card, where I'm getting 5 to 10% cash back. So if you've been looking to buy a certain item, I roughly advise people to think of it as three options, each of them better than the other. So option one, right, Mubina, we should make use of the special offer. So the fact that the product is discounted 10%, the fact that there is a 5% cashback if you pay with a particular bank's credit card for this particular product, I think make use of the special offer. But ideally, you've been saving for this for the last 6 months. So make use of the special discount, but pay with your credit card to get the discount, but pay off the credit card bill at the end of the billing cycle. This is option number one. There's no extra cost attached on this for you. Now, if you haven't saved up in the last 6 months, which ideally you should have, then you move to option two. So option two is an offer which is currently ongoing, which is called the no-cost EMI. Now, we'll talk about this in more detail, but it genuinely is an offer wherein whether you buy the product now or you buy it on no-cost EMI, the total amount you're going to pay remains absolutely the same. So this product is interesting because there's no interest charge, and you in fact are saving money, right? If you take this no-cost EMI, but you need to be aware that your income over the next 6 months is sufficient to pay this no-cost EMI. These two options both have no interest charge. The third option, right, is you either look at EMI on card or you look at a personal loan. It's between 10 and 15%, but you just need to be aware and capable of repaying the EMI. So if you planned well for this, Mubina, then you're paying from your saving, you're swiping the credit card to get that extra cash back and everything is fine. Otherwise, you need to consider one of the other two options.
I'll delve a little more in this whole no cost EMI bit. Let's say, Adil, that you're presented with this proposition, pay up front, or then you have no cost EMI. Is it really no cost, in the true sense? Because we see various articles as well where they say that, oh, it's not truly no cost, and the discount is simply morphed as interest. The discount is really eliminated. So, I mean, is there really, are the devil really in the details? If I have the cash, should I just say, no, you know what, I'm going to pay upfront because that's going to be more beneficial for me?
Good question, Mobina. So, before the show, I did research what some of these no-cost EMIs that are running on some of the larger e-commerce sites. And what I did find, right, is that these are genuinely no-cost EMI in most cases. And the easiest way to prove this, right, is when you're at the checkout stage, it actually shows you that the sum total of the 6-month EMI you're going to pay, it's exactly the same amount of money if you swiped and just paid it completely upfront right now. So the two amounts tally. So one could argue that by taking the no-cost option, you're actually earning the benefit of the interest you're going to earn on that amount. Now, you should check on the particular offer you're looking at to make sure there's no processing fee. And in my check before this show, right, I broadly found that most of these offers are genuinely no-cost EMI. The thing to watch out for, Mobina, is that this is not a blanket offer that's available for all manufacturers, all electronics, all banks. Typically, this is always tied to a particular credit card. So if you have that particular credit card and this special offer is running on that particular e-commerce site for Samsung or Apple, then you can apply and get this no-cost EMI. It's not available for all products on all websites, so you need to cross-check. And like you rightly pointed out, right, just make sure by reading at the checkout stage that there is no fee attached, and that genuinely makes it a no-cost EMI product. You're actually not paying any interest by taking this product.
So most of the claimants of offering no cost EMI are genuinely no cost EMI, though of course there may be few where you should perhaps read the fine print, and Adil just explained how you can go about doing so. Adil, when we use credit cards, it gets very, very simple to overshoot the budget. You're simply swiping. You don't have to pay right now. You have to pay later. So you don't even realize where you have, sort of spent a bomb. And it's only that after the credit card cycle ends, you realize when you're hit with that big, hefty bill that, okay, what have I done? How would you recommend, individuals tap their, keep a track of their spending on credit cards? And also, like you mentioned as well, I think you flagged this off in your first answer too, there are various kinds of credit cards, right? Cash back, more RP, so on and so forth. Which is the best for shopping?
So, I think the genuine advantage of paying with a credit card, right? And Bank Bazaar research, looked into this for some of the top credit cards in the market. We looked at IndusInd, we looked at Citibank, and a few others. What we found is that there are two benefits one can get, assuming that you pay your bill in full on time. So benefit number one is just ongoing cashback reward. So this is available through the entire year. It's available at all your online spends, and it roughly works out to about 5 and 10,000 rupees per year for someone spending about 30,000 per month. So this goes on all the time, right? The second is the festival discount, wherein just for this week or just for this month, the particular manufacturer says, I'll give you a 5% cashback if you pay with this bank's card, or I'll give you a 10% cashback. So I would recommend that these deals are good. You should make use of them, but let's come to the caveat. The caveat is you need to have the money to settle the card bill because you want to settle it on time and in full. I feel the easiest way to do it, and something that I try to follow, is plan for your obligation first, Mubina. Now, there are certain things that we need to do no matter what, right? We need to pay our EMIs, it's an obligation. We need to pay our rental, it's an obligation. We need to pay certain expenses like a child's education, which is an obligation. So you make sure you pay your obligations, and then whatever is remaining, right, you then use that as your shopping expense. And hopefully you've saved up for 3 to 6 months, so you can buy that expensive electronics during this Diwali shopping season by making use of benefits. I think it's very important because all these financial tools that you're discussing with me on the show, right? The 5-10% cashback during Diwali, the no-cost EMI, these are all financial tools, but you should plan in advance to make sure that you use these financial tools to give you savings. So you should plan your budget in advance, and hopefully, you're making use of these discounts and you're able to pay these obligations in timely fashion.
Well, yeah, obligations, liabilities first, and then come discretionaries. I think that's the basic funda as well, in terms of general personal finance and financial practices. Adhil, great having you with us. Thanks so much, as always, for joining us with your pearls of wisdom. If you'd like to catch this conversation, you can do so by logging on to ET Now's YouTube channel under the Money Show playlist. Well, we'll take a very short break right here on the show, but when we return, we'll be back with our Spend with TMS segment. Now that we've given you all these wonderful pearls of wisdom from Adhil, you know what your budget is, I hope, after this interview, and now you can learn how to properly apply it.